The automotive world is watching closely as Matt Armstrong takes on one of the most ambitious independent rebuilds ever attempted, a written-off Bugatti Chiron, and Bugatti itself is paying attention too. After successfully splitting the car, a procedure Bugatti's own CEO suggested was impossible for an independent builder, Matt posted a direct message aimed squarely at the manufacturer.
So this is the progress that we've made on the Bugatti Chiron Sport, and if anything, it's about to get harder from here. All of this needs rebuilding, and of course we need to 3D print, make and fix all the parts to be able to do that. And I don't want this to be a personal attack on Matty Rimac at all. I think if it was down to him, he would be selling his parts, but Bugatti have decided that it's not safe for us to rebuild the car, which I completely understand because I've never worked on a Bugatti before. They've decided not to sell us parts. I've got no other choice but to try and get this car back on the road my own way. See you soon, Bugatti.
It's respectful, it's measured, and it makes one thing absolutely clear. The rebuild is happening with or without their blessing. Standing in front of the now split Chiron, Matt laid out exactly where things stand. The car is open, the damage is exposed, and the road ahead involves fabricating custom parts, sourcing components through independent channels, and engineering solutions from scratch. Matt acknowledged that he's never worked on a Bugatti before, and he made a point of separating Mate Rimac, Bugatti's CEO, from the corporate decision to withhold parts. In Matt's view, if it were up to Rimac personally, parts would probably be on their way. Instead, it's Bugatti as a corporation that has decided the rebuild isn't safe to support, and therefore won't sell what's needed to complete it. That distinction matters. Matt isn't interested in making this personal, and by giving Rimac that public acknowledgement, he's being both fair and strategic. He's placing the blame where he believes it actually sits, with corporate policy, rather than attacking an individual. But the important line, the one Bugatti won't want to hear, came right after. As they've decided not to sell us parts, I've got no other choice but to try and get this car back on the road my own way. See you soon, Bugatti. That's not a dig. That's not bluster. That's a statement of intent from someone who has already proven the hardest part is possible. The tone is calm and almost matter-of-fact, which makes it more powerful, not less. Matt isn't asking for permission. He's telling Bugatti what's coming. Around the same time Matt posted that message, YouTube sent him a recognition package.
Look at this thing that I got from YouTube. Oh, now Kevin wants to be involved. But excuse me, this is bad boy. Look at that, it's like full, I don't know why Kevin's so involved with it. We've got a jersey, like a jacket from YouTube. Look at that. That is absolutely sick, with my YouTube handle on the back. I'm buzzing with that. Thanks YouTube. And then it's got, cool, thank you for, I guess, making videos.
A custom jacket with his channel name embroidered on the back, along with a note thanking him for making videos. Matt unboxed it on camera, clearly delighted, while his dog Kevin did his best to make the whole thing about himself. It's a small moment, but the timing is worth noting. YouTube doesn't send packages like this to random creators. This kind of recognition goes to people producing content the platform genuinely values. Content with large, engaged audiences built around something real. Matt's channel has grown substantially through this Chiron project, and the recognition reflects that. More broadly, it signals that the kind of content Matt makes, transparent, technically detailed, documenting every setback and breakthrough honestly, is exactly what draws audiences in. It's not a manufacturer-approved promotional video. It's one person taking on a genuinely difficult problem in public and refusing to give up when a major corporation tells him it can't be done. So where does the rebuild actually stand? Quite a lot has been moving forward simultaneously, and the progress is worth going through in detail. The car has been successfully split, the single biggest procedural question mark of the entire project, now answered. That split gave Matt full access to the gearbox, which had been one of the most significant unknowns since the car was acquired. The damage is now visible and can be properly assessed. The critical question is whether the internal damage is reparable or whether the gearbox will need to be replaced entirely, which opens up a separate challenge around independent sourcing. That assessment is happening now, and it will shape a major part of what comes next. The aluminum horseshoe structure at the front of the car, a complex, load-bearing component that Bugatti produces as a casting, is being handled through 3D scanning and CNC machining. Rather than simply replicating Bugatti's original design, Matt's team is looking at potential improvements over the factory part. It's a good example of the broader approach here. When manufacturer parts aren't available, independent fabrication doesn't have to mean inferior. Modern scanning and machining technology is precise enough to produce structural components that meet or exceed original specs, provided the engineering work is done properly. The 4 radiators have been sent to Bob, a specialist in the UK, who has assessed them and confirmed that none of them are beyond repair. This directly contradicts the impression Bugatti left, that the damage to the car was so severe as to be effectively irreparable without their direct involvement. The radiators are being fixed. They're coming back. That's not a minor detail. On the exhaust side, Valvetronic is fabricating a custom system. The original exhaust is one of the many components that simply isn't available for purchase through Bugatti's parts network, so an independent solution was always going to be necessary. Custom wheel design is also underway, with 3D scanning being used to ensure perfect fitment to the Chiron's unique specifications. Every one of these work streams is running in parallel, and every one of them represents a component that Bugatti said, implicitly or explicitly, couldn't be sourced or repaired outside of their network. So far, every single one has proven solvable. That's the pattern that makes this rebuild significant beyond the car itself. Matt isn't just fixing a Bugatti. He's systematically dismantling the argument that hypercars like the Chiron require manufacturer involvement to rebuild. That argument has always had 2 parts: a technical part, claiming independent builders lack the knowledge and tools, and a commercial part, claiming critical components simply aren't available outside official channels. Matt is addressing both simultaneously. The technical argument took its biggest hit when the car was successfully split. Bugatti's position was that this procedure was too dangerous and too complex for anyone without factory-level training and equipment. Matt documented the entire process, step by step, proving that claim wrong. Not recklessly, carefully, methodically, with proper engineering discipline. When the car was split without incident, the technical gatekeeping argument lost its most powerful example. The commercial argument is being challenged through every independent repair and fabrication solution. When the radiators come back from Bob fully repaired, that's a parts monopoly claim proven false. When the aluminum structure comes back from CNC machining, that's another. When the custom exhaust arrives from Valvetronic and fits correctly, that's another. Each solution creates a documented precedent that other builders can reference. That documentation is the key. Matt films everything. He doesn't hide the difficult moments or pretend obstacles don't exist. When something goes wrong, it's on camera. When a specialist confirms that damage is reparable, that's on camera. When a custom fabricated part fits, that's on camera. This isn't the approach of someone hoping to get lucky and present a clean success at the end. This is a methodical, public record of every problem and every solution, building an undeniable case over time. That's what makes this "see you soon, Bugatti" line genuinely meaningful. Matt isn't confident because he's ignoring the challenges ahead. The gearbox assessment, the structural fabrication, the reassembly of one of the most complex cars ever built. He's confident because he's already solved problems that were supposed to be unsolvable, and he has a clear process for tackling everything that remains. Bugatti's gatekeeping strategy depended on information asymmetry. The manufacturer understood how their cars were built. Independent builders didn't. As long as that gap existed, Bugatti could credibly claim that certain procedures were too complex, certain parts too specialized, and certain repairs beyond the reach of anyone outside their authorized network. The implied message was, if you're not us, you can't do this. Matt's documentation is permanently closing that gap, not just for himself, but for every independent builder who comes after him. Every procedure he films, every specialist he works with, every fabricated solution he develops becomes part of a publicly accessible record. The information asymmetry that manufacturer gatekeeping relied on doesn't survive a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers documenting everything in detail. That's the actual stakes of this rebuild. It's not just one Bugatti Chiron coming back from the dead. It's a proof of concept that hypercar ownership doesn't have to mean permanent dependency on the manufacturer. That independent builders, given modern fabrication tools, specialist knowledge, and the determination to work through problems methodically, can take on cars that were supposedly off-limits. The next major update hinges on the gearbox assessment. Once the extent of the internal damage is understood, Matt will know whether repair is viable or whether a complete replacement needs to be sourced independently, which would be a significant challenge, but not an insurmountable one given everything else that's already been solved. After that, the aluminum structure fabrication moves into production, the radiators return from the UK, the exhaust arrives from Valvetronic, and the long process of putting the Chiron back together begins. Bugatti is watching. Their CEO has already been proven wrong once, publicly, in front of millions of people. Every update from here adds to that record. And when the Chiron finally runs again, built without a single part sold by Bugatti, Matt's "see you soon" will have meant exactly what it sounded like. The rebuild continues on his terms now.